Hi, so in this video, I'll show you how to use Tally, and in a lot of ways, it's basically very similar to a Notion table. Well, sorry, a Notion doc, in the sense that you can get started like this, and it's a blank canvas, and you would fill out the doc or the form as you imagine it. So in this example, I'll do a form response for a position that we're hiring. So let's say community manager round two response. So usually I would send all the applicants who pass to round one a Notion doc that explains the process and all the questions, and then I asked them to put all the answers into a Google Docs, and then to share the response link with me. So this one's pretty straightforward. You can start with the templates like so, and there's a lot of them. There's broken down into different use cases, newsletter signed up. So it can be used as a sign up form, a quiz, even a checkout form where you can add payments as well. So really helpful here. Or you can create your own. So I'm just going to create an empty form here. And yeah, so you can start with a message or like a response right away. So I'll do type here, short answer. What is your name? So notice that this is actually would appear as a placeholder. And then you can click to change the different types of form. Form below, what is your email? Yes. And your email, please. And then if I don't hit the slash or hit the plus button here and I type something, then it's going to appear as just a plain text. So yeah, that's what I mean by how similar it is to Notion. And you can format them as well, of course, add links and such. So basic text editor. Yeah, and then finally, please enter the link to your answer. And then slash, let's say we want to add the link. Make sure to make the share the link public. Set the view to make sure to set the view to public. And yeah, so just a reminder here so they can read. Yeah, so I like it because it's very minimal. And then if you like, you can add a page. And then by default, I like it here. I like the small prompt here when it says that you can turn this on as a thank you page, and that'll be it. Initially, when I first tested it, and I thought they would have like a thank you message, but it's nice that they have the preview here. So if I just test it, and then, oops, Google Docs, yeah, it's just empty. So you would need to put something here. Thanks so much for applying. Yeah, and then cool. So you can add multiple steps. So you can add as many pages as you want. If you don't like it, you can delete. Yeah, and then you can customize the design. They have some pretty decent templates here, or you can add your own as well, of course. So it's I like it that as soon as you click on the background here, there's a color palette for you to adjust. It's a small thing, but actually not a lot of tools does this, and it's yeah, it saves a lot of time, to be honest. Yeah, so let's just try playing around with it for a bit. Text, yeah, so everything is editable. button background. Don't like this one. Let's try, nope. Let's try something like, there you go. All right. So, and then you can change the font as well. All done. Cover. So this is very, it's very Notion-like in that sense. Wait, I'm pretty sure you can change the cover design. Oh, there you go. So yeah, you can do unslash. Let's use this one here. Reposition. Okay, safe. And then what else we can do? Add a logo. You can insert. Oh, that's just the fields. Yeah, yeah. And then you can preview it. It's got the branding. I don't really mind, to be honest. Most of the time, if it helps them to to get more customers and keep offering the free tier, the generous free tier with us, for us. Sorry, then it's great. That's all I want. You can send email notifications whenever you have a new submission. This one would be under the paid plan. You can redirect them. You can collect the partial submissions. It's important in some cases where, for example, when you're creating a customer satisfaction survey or like a complaints, for example, and then people just get tired halfway, but you still want the responses. Especially when you collect the name and addresses, the emails at the beginning, so you can follow up and say, hey, we got your response. Just wanted to let you know, even though you haven't completed it. And then you can follow up and ask them questions, for example, or for some reason their internet got disconnected and you'd still want to be able to get that info. Yeah. So Tally branding, actually, it's on. You can limit the number of submissions, so it's helpful when you have like a limited launch, and you only want a few people to sign up for it. Save changes. I don't want to make any changes here, and then publish. So once you publish that, there are a few ways you can embed the form, share the form, the standard stuff. You can create it as a template, which is really nice. For me, I usually do the hiring questionnaires. So this would be really helpful for sure. The integration. This is one of the things that I like Tally the most. You can push it directly to Google Sheets and just connect via Google. You can send them through webhooks, so you can send them to your Slack and stuff. But since they already have them built in here, in even Coda, which is amazing. Yeah, there's like, for example, I'll try to do a Notion one here. Select the database. I've already created a blank one, so I'll just show you in a second. Yeah, so I've already created a blank page. So I've tried created a blank note without anything in it, and then also another one with the table response. So let's try and do that now. So the blank page wouldn't show up even if after I refreshed it. Yeah, so at the beginning, when I did this, log into Notion, then I can choose which workspace I want it to sync with, and then I can choose whichever pages that I want to sync. So I chose Tally. I'm just going to close this. 1 second. Yeah, so I've already synced to the Tally workspace, so I don't have to do it anymore. With the Notion, when I hit connect, then I can choose the database. I think it's only allowing me to connect to this one and not the blank page because it's a table format. And then you can map the properties. It's pretty straightforward. The response and ID. You can sync all of this or just the answers themselves. So what's your name? And then if you don't see anything here, add property, email address. If you don't see anything here, you can create them. Email, like so. And Awesome. Yeah, so it's real time, super convenient, and I'll show you in a bit why I would prefer this method over things like Zapier or Pabbly. And then, yeah, the last field here, your property, and this one should be a link. Answers. Cool. So I'll put this here. As you can see, it only takes like 2 or 3 seconds for the fields to be updated here. Page content, we don't need anything here, so all done. So yeah, and then we can add tags like send to the next round or selected or leave a notes on it here. I usually use Notion. You can use Google Sheets or anything else as well, but I like having all the answers under the table here instead of going through them one by one. Plus, my team's usually on Notion, so they can review it as well. They don't have to log into an external tool to see the results. So yeah, I think as a free option, this is way better than anything else out there. Especially when with everything that you can do under free, even for you can even take payments. They do charge a percentage. I believe it's something like 3% or something like that. But for all the hassle that you would have to create and use other tools, this is definitely worth it. Yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, sorry, is that I promised to show what it would look like with Pabbly. And so I have this the same survey set up from Block Survey and pushed to Notion and other platforms. And Block Survey is good because it has a direct integration with Slack, actually, and also Discord. So you can push the responses right there. But it doesn't have it with Notion. So I'm trying to see. I'm trying to ask Wilson to consider that. But basically, when you have the answers, you would sync it to the fields, and then you can also do the refresh to update the columns. But you might see what happens when you're trying to map it here. There are just so many fields, and even the repeated ones too. So there are this is the first name with a name field, the emails and the docs, but then it's buried way below all this list. And then you also have the same fields here. I'm not even sure what these are for and how they're different. So if you know, please let me know. But I mean, I usually only go for the last one. And there are there are forms that I've created that would have like 15 different questions. So imagine scrolling through down and try to find 15 different fields and try to guess that. Definitely not easy. And I've gotten one or two fields wrong every now and then. So it's not a great, it's not the most intuitive way to try and integrate them. So yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you.